Hello and welcome to Clearview News Desk. We are reaching you live from Nigeria's capital city, Abuja. I am Gloria Atta. Welcome. Civil society organizations under the Coalition for Good Governance have condemned the Nigerian Senate's passage of a new bill seeking to centralize the regulation of lottery and gambling across the country. The group, made up of more than 80 human rights bodies, described the move as unconstitutional and a show of legislative recklessness. The report.
In what they described as a defense of constitutional democracy, members of the Coalition for Good Governance have faulted the Nigerian Senate for approving the Central Gaming Bill 2025, despite a standing Supreme Court judgment on the matter. The bill, which aims to establish a unified national framework for lottery and online gaming, was earlier passed by the House of Representatives and received Senate concurrence on October 8, 2025. The move, however, sparked widespread criticism from civil society groups and state officials who argue that the legislation violates the constitutional division of powers and erodes the authority of state governments. Speaking at a press briefing in Lagos, coalition spokesperson Nelson Ekudrumi called on the National Assembly, particularly the House of Representatives, to apologize to Nigerians for what he described as an assault on legislative integrity, national honor, and the Constitution.
The states in the suit sought, amongst others, a declaration of the courts that the regulation of lottery activities does not fall within the remits of the National Assembly under Part 1 of the second schedule of the 1999 Constitution as amended, and is consequently not empowered to enact the National Lottery Act. The states, as plaintiff, also sought a declaration that the National Assembly lacks the power to legally and constitutionally make any law to regulate and control the operation of lottery in Nigeria.
The group warned that the National Assembly must not allow itself to slide from being a custodian of the law to an institution that encourages impunity and actions capable of endangering national peace and stability.
Open quotes, lottery and gaming activities, while generating revenue, does not fall within the core category of economic activities envisaged by the Constitution under Section 16, subsection 4b, and cannot be regulated by the provisions of an Act of the National Assembly. At page 66, the court further held that, consequently, open quote again, consequently, the legislative authority of each state's House of Assembly encompasses, among other matters, the power to regulate activities such as lotteries and other forms of gaming.
At the heart of the controversy is the claim that the Central Gaming Bill directly contravenes a Supreme Court ruling which affirms that the regulation of gaming and lottery activities falls within the exclusive jurisdiction of state governments. As calls for the Senate to withdraw the bill intensify, many Nigerians are asking, will lawmakers uphold the Supreme Court's ruling or risk another constitutional crisis by pressing ahead with a central gaming law?
It was high drama at the National Assembly on Tuesday as tempers flared during a heated debate on the controversial abortion provision. The tension began when Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan rose to speak, insisting on sharing her perspective as a woman, but was ruled out of order by Senate President Godswill Akpabio before she could go far.
Those against say nay. The ayes have it.
Mr. Senate President, please, may I speak? I'm a woman, and abortion has to do with women. It's very important, sir.
Let us go to clause. This has been stepped down in totality. Yes, you distinguished senator, distinguished senator. This has been stepped down in view of the conviction, but if you have anything to add, you can say.
Thank you very much, sir. Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan, Kogi Central. Sir, this borders on abortion. And
Yes, Senator.
Backing the decision, former Edo Governor and Senator Adams Oshiomhole cited Senate Rule 52 subsection 6, effectively shutting down further debate on the matter. The move has since sparked outrage and renewed conversations about gender balance in Nigeria's upper chamber, where just 4 women serve among 109 senators. Political watchers say the incident exposes how strict parliamentary rules can sometimes stifle women's voices, even on issues that directly affect them.
Mr. President, we have been tutored over and over that when a matter has been concluded and you have dropped the gavel, in this particular case, to allow for more conversation, if you grant exemption to distinguish Senator Natasha, then you must extend the same extension to us, in which case our rules will become meaningless. I think the rules should be obeyed. We have said more discussion, which allow her to make any input, and I also intend to make more input. I think that is the whole essence of deferring it. To continue the debate, many of us will rather debate it here. So I think my distinguished sisters should agree that these are the rules, and those rules have to be followed. If you begin to exercise discretion of granting exemption here, you have to grant exemption there, and here we shall have no rules. Okay, I think the rules should be fair, and they should be applied the way you have done, even when I try to...
Distinguished Senator Adams Oshiomhole, I must add that I'm not a spirit to know what the senator wanted to say. The senator said, I want to say something. But if I knew, I would have referred her to Rule 52, sub 6. Rule 52, sub 6 says, it shall be out of order to attempt to reconsider any specific question upon which the Senate has come to a conclusion during the current session, except upon a substantive motion for rescission. So since the Senate has come to a conclusion and has stepped down this, it shall be out of order. So I ruled Senator Natasha out of order.
The Enugu state government has demolished yet another building allegedly used as a hideout for kidnappers in Umweze, Aukunau village, in Kano West local government area. The demolition followed a recent security raid on the property where operatives rescued a kidnapped victim and recovered arms and ammunition.
Like many other states in Nigeria, Enugu has continued to battle a growing wave of kidnapping incidents. Just in August, police in the state arrested 2 suspects linked to the kidnapping and murder of a 5-year-old boy in Udi local government area. The latest building to be brought down was said to belong to one Ikwanaku Okbodo, popularly known as Fela, a young man now accused of running a kidnapping den from his family house. Security sources said the suspect and some members of his gang are currently on the run after escaping with gunshot wounds during the raid that led to the victim's rescue. Residents of Umuaze described the suspect as long notorious for criminal activities in the area, a reputation they said has now brought shame and sorrow to his family.
Last time, he came back from prison. They released him from prison. You understand? Since then, he showed here was a camp of those smoking all these drugs.
The demolition has left many villagers in shock, not only because a family home was reduced to rubble, but because the building was reportedly constructed by the suspect's late mother, making the loss even more painful for relatives and neighbors.
Poor mother, and this is the place where the woman was buried.
Authorities said the action is in line with Enugu state laws, which permits the demolition of any properties used or allowed to be used for kidnapping or related crimes. For the Enugu state government, the move sends a clear warning that anyone heading or harboring criminal elements will face the full weight of the law. Imefono Kun reporting for Clever News.
Tragedy struck in Niger State where no fewer than 30 people were reportedly burned beyond recognition after a petrol tanker exploded while residents were scooping fuel from it. The incident occurred around 11 o'clock on Tuesday morning at Esang and Badegi communities along the Bida-Agaye Road in Kacha local government area. Eyewitnesses say the victims were collecting petrol from the overturned tanker when it suddenly exploded, killing many on the spot. Clearview News gathered that about 40 others suffered severe burns and were rushed to the Federal Medical Center in Bida for treatment. Confirming the incident, Chairman of the State Tanker Drivers and National Ex-Official of Nupeng, Farouk Kawo, explained that the tanker was on its way from Lagos to the northern region when the accident occurred. Kawo noted that over 30 tanker crashes have already been recorded in the area this month alone, blaming the deplorable state of the road. He further expressed concern that despite continuous public enlightenment, many people, particularly youths, still rush to scoop fuel at accident scenes, putting their lives in danger. And that's the news. You can follow up on latest events and happenings around you via our social media platforms on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Clearview News Desk or via our handle on X, formerly known as Twitter, at Clearview Online. Many thanks for joining us. I am Gloria Atta. Bye for now.